let's hop in and start sourcing. Let's check this one first. Fast and the Furious Ultimate Ride Collect. I like to go after the ones that are already selling on Amazon because I know that they retail on Amazon at a specific price, and I can get them cheaper through the coupon code on Slickdeals, or whatever the bulk deal site or coupon code site that you're using. Sometimes you'll notice that they're selling on eBay. Sometimes they're selling on Target and other websites, and those are fine too. You just have to sort through them and search a different way, and I'll show you how to do that here in a second. So typically, if they were on a different site, you'd search the name, but since this is on Amazon, we can just click See Deal, and it should take us to Amazon. And you'll see here that it's selling for $19.99, but it retails usually at $60. So what I like to do here is the very first thing that I like to do is I like to check to see for this specific bulk deal site if it actually retails at that specific price. And of course, I'm not logged into Camelizer, so let's just take this URL and we'll search in camel. Usually I just have the extension going, but for whatever reason I forgot to sign in like an idiot. This basically all Camelizer and Camel does is show you the what it typically sells at in the history of the sale price, so you know that okay, they're claiming that it retails at 60, but it actually does typically retail at 60. So this is a good example of this. It right now currently selling for $20, $19.99, but typically speaking, it retails a lot higher. Sometimes it's in between 50 and 60 most months. But recently it looks like it's been around $40, sometimes $30. So there's still a margin there. But typically speaking, it retails higher than 20. So this might be a good product. It's not the best product. We can find a better one. But let's assume, just for example here on the video, that this did typically retail at $60. What would the next step be? Well, the next step is you're going to check to see if you can sell it. And we're going to take the ASIN and we're going to see if we can sell it. And you cannot sell this. You need to request approval. So that's a bad product. Now, if we could sell this, just to give you another example, if we could sell this, we ran through the sales, what the normal price is in that part of the checklist. We checked to see if we could sell it. Now, obviously, you can't sell this product, but let's pretend for a second that you could. What would the next step be? Well, the next step would be how many does it sell? So you can use the Jungle Scout Chrome extension, and it has a lot of monthly sales, 6,000, so it sells a shitload. It's 125 G's in revenue monthly, so this would be a perfect product. And that's why I recommend the Jungle Scout Chrome extension, because it literally puts the specific number and sales velocity on that product, so you know that it's a good buy. Now, this is a bad example of a product because it obviously is something that's has a brand around it, so you're probably not going to be able to sell Fast and the Furious stuff. But typically speaking, you will find good products, and you can always file and request approval for certain categories and get ungated. It's very, very easy, actually. Let's try a different one. This is probably another bad example because it's Puma, and you can't typically sell brand name products like Nike or anything like that on Amazon. But let's just run through it like it was an example. So, to give you, a bunch of different raw feels for what you might be able to sell. So if this sells on eBay, actually, so what we're going to do is you can't click to see the listing on Amazon, but we're going to search Amazon for this listing. And is that it? The white ones? That's it, right? Yeah, that's it. So we can buy this for $25.50 on eBay with a coupon code, or just that's the deal running right now. It retails, I'm a 10.5. And that's typically on average. Obviously, I wouldn't wear these. I'd be reselling them, but just for, just to kind of see. So it is Amazon Prime, which is a great thing. It's got 8 customer reviews, so it shows that the person's invested in the listing. Obviously, Puma's probably selling this, even though it says sales for it is. And it's $85. So that is a profit margin if you buy it for $25.50 on eBay of about $60. This is a great product. Now, the next thing that we want to see is, can we sell it, and what's the sales velocity? So it is ranked in 150 in clothing, shoes, and jewelry. So my typical rule of thumb is stay below 100,000 BSR from category to category, because most categories have different sales velocities, and that's just a safe bet. But if you have the Jungle Scout Chrome extension, you can just run the numbers and see for yourself. See, this is a good example, because if you assume that this was a bad product because it's above 100,000, but if you run the numbers, you'll see that it has about 60 monthly sales, a little bit under 5 a day roughly. And it does have a monthly revenue of $5,000. So this isn't a bad product. You could sell this. It would move fairly quickly. Next thing we want to check is, can we sell it? So let's run it into Seller Central and see And it does look like you need to request approval to sell this as well. Now, another example, you can request approval on shooting and clothes. Typically, the major brands, and Puma might be one of them, is like Nike, Adidas, anything like that. You're going to have to show and prove a valid sourcing chain. But, you know, if you're not selling Nike or Adidas, you're just selling like a different brand name, typically you can request approval and get approved to do that. And that's something that, you know, we can discuss when you get to that step. However, in my experience, it's not that difficult with most brands if they're not like Nike or any of the top tier brands. Now, this is another example of something you probably couldn't sell because it's Canon, and this is Men's Vapor. This might be a good one because I've never heard of Merrell. Maybe you have, but we're going to just sort through a bunch to see what happens. And this is not selling on Amazon, so we're going to need to search for it. If I were doing this, I might buy this and then flip it back on eBay if I know that I can't sell it on Amazon, and I don't know that yet. We're going to check. But if I'm buying it, I know that it retails typically at like $200, $300, and I can get it for $60 because it's a good Christmas deal. I might buy like 2 or 3 of these, maybe 5 of these, and then just list them on eBay, and whenever they sell, I'm going to make that markup. Even if I sell them for $200, that's $140 profit margin on each printer on eBay. And you can obviously sell anything on eBay. You don't need to request approval, whereas on Amazon, you do need to request approval with the brand owner. So, something to keep in mind. That is the right printer, right? I think it is. Canon 100 Pro Series. That's the right printer. Yeah. All right. Let's check it. So, retails at $308. That's a great profit margin, which typically means it probably retails, if we took it into eBay, it probably retails somewhere similar on eBay. I'm not even going to take it on eBay because it just, even if it only sold for $200 on eBay, it's still a $140 profit margin. Let's check the ASIN. Can we sell it? And since it's Canon, I'm assuming you're going to need to request approval. But in my experience, as long as, like I said, as long as it's not like Nike approves like literally nobody, you can request approval and have a good chance of selling it. But like I said, you can buy this for a margin, flip it back on eBay, which also has a high sales velocity. You can't flip it on Poshmark because Poshmark's mainly closed. But you could also flip it on Mercari, and I've seen a lot of stuff lately sell on Mercari. It's been wild. Where am I at? So if I were going to buy this, and let's check the sales velocity, even though we can't sell this back on Amazon unless we requested approval. And it doesn't typically show me, it doesn't have a sales velocity here. And this would be one that I wouldn't necessarily want to sell on Amazon anyway because it's deceiving. It's not 23 in computers and accessories. It's 23 in the subcategory of computers and accessories. So remember to check that when you're looking. And like I said, this is very different than coupon arbitrage, but it's still very good because like I said, if you find one deal where your profit margin's $140, you don't just have to buy one of those. You can buy 10 of those if you want, and 10 times 50. So let's just hypothetically say I was going to flip this back on eBay, for example, not Amazon this time. 10 times 60 roughly is $600. So I'm spending $600, and what is the profit margin? Let's say I sell it on eBay for $200. So the margin would be $140. What's 140 times 10? That's $1,400. I don't know if you can see that for dropping, what was it? $600 to make $1,400 in one buy like that. Super, super easy. Now, just for shits and giggles, let's see if it actually does sell on eBay for that, and if it does, maybe I might even buy these, to be honest. But let's just check. I've never sold anything this expensive on Mercari, but I'd be interested to try. But I have seen a lot of sales on Mercari lately. Here we go. There's a lot of listing on eBay very, very highly, but like I always say, check the sold and completed items. Don't just assume. So brand new, this is selling, what did I say? Roughly $200. So this sold for $185. This sold for $201 literally 2 days ago. So that's a $140 profit margin. I honestly might buy 5 to 10 of these after the video. I'm not going to do it right now because it's going to show you exactly what my address is. But that's a great product to buy. You can buy it for $60 because they're selling this at a discount right now. Flip it back on. You can't sell this one on Amazon, even though a lot of them that you can. And like I said, it does take a little bit of time to find a great deal. Once you find a great deal, you can buy 5 to 10 and make that $1,000 like that. Super, super easy. But I can buy a bunch of these new, list them back on eBay for $200 or even maybe $190 to get a little bit lower than some of the other offers out there. And obviously, I'd make that $140 profit margin roughly. If I wanted to sell it for $150, well then that's, or $160 even, that's still a $100 profit margin for every printer that I bought. Yeah, let's check 3 more really fast, or maybe 2 more, since we found one decent one. Let's check this one. I've never heard of these shoes before. And these don't sell on Amazon. They sell on Merrell, which is, I'm assuming, the brand website. So what we're going to do is we're going to check on Amazon for them. Let's move this over so I remember that. Okay, this looks like the same shoe right there. Let's see what they typically sell for. I'm going to go like 10 this time. So typically they sell for 50 bucks. You can buy them here for 40. So that's not really worth my time in my opinion. And like I said, this is one of the annoying things about the bulk deal sites is you do have to sort through for about 10 minutes maybe. But once you find that one product, all you need is one product. You can buy multiples of those products. Whereas with the coupon sites, you can buy 100 of single one-off products, all with a margin of 100 bucks. And I usually buy about 20 to 30 of those a day. I typically usually do coupon sites, like 90% of my buys are from coupon sites, and I supplement with about 10% of other stuff like this Canon printer I'm going to buy for, another, 10% of my buys. But they're both great ways to make money. You probably can't sell this as well because it is a brand, but it is on Amazon, so let's check it really fast. And Sims 4, that's the Sims 4. So it retails for 50. And this is a download, right? This is a download? Online game code. Yeah, it's a download. So that's probably a bad call because it's a download. We're going to avoid that. But what I might have been making this video, it might have been like a 10 to 15 minute video. I already found one product and I barely was even searching through it. I didn't even sort through on Slickdeals. I literally just grabbed stuff off the homepage and checked them. I'm probably going to buy 5 to 10 of these. Let's say, just to run the numbers again, let's say I spent 10 bucks on these. So just give you the numbers raw. 59 times 10 is 590 bucks, obviously, right? So I spent 590 bucks to make back, let's say I list it for 190 to stay a little bit low. So 190 times 10. So 590 bucks to make 1900 bucks for a grand total of $1,310 profit.